Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am so excited to come to you with another video. Today I thought that I would share with you my instant holy grails, like products that I tried and just instantly fell in love with right then and there. All of these products have been in my collection for quite some time and I still absolutely love them, so I wanted to share with you today. Now if you're wondering about this eye look that I'm somewhat putting together, definitely go check it out. I'll link it up and down below. This is the new Nomad Cosmetics Hudson Valley palette. It's beautiful. I created some looks, did some swatches, so go check it out. And let's go ahead and get started with the rest of the face. Okay, so I've said this before in other videos or live streams, but I instantly fell in love with the Hourglass Vanish Primer. Look at how much I've used. I don't know if you guys can see it, but can you guys see it? It's like down to there. There we go. It's down to there, which is kind of a big deal again in my collection. I have a lot of stuff. I have a lot of primers, and this one was just an instant favorite. I love how smoothing it is, and although it's not as mattifying as I would like it to be because I do have oily skin and, you know, summers are very brutal in Texas, very humid, it's still extremely blurring and it just looks so pretty. It kind of feels like a little lotion, and it just looks, it makes any foundation look really, really nice. So I really love this primer. Another reason why I was so shocked by it is because I really, really hate their other primer. The other one is the Mineral Veil. That one's supposed to be the mattifying one, but I hate it. Like, it emphasizes my pores. It makes my skin look horrible regardless of how good the foundation is. And so, yeah, I was surprised by it, but also very excited that I love this primer so much. I'm going to let this set in for just a minute or two, and I'll go on to foundation. All right, now that the primer set in for just a couple of minutes, I want to share my favorite instant foundation. This one I've had in my collection since 2016, 2017. This is actually my second bottle, and it's the Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. I absolutely love this. This is in the shade 5.75. And you guys, this is gonna sound so creepy or weird or whatever, but this foundation, well, first of all, let me show you the texture. It's a little runny. It is the most skin-like foundation. A lot of people love this foundation, myself included, but this is gonna sound super cheesy and funny at the same time. I instantly loved this foundation so much that I actually remember the first time I ever wore this foundation. And I don't know what it is about that day, but more specifically, like, I remember just how, like, mind blown I was at such a beautiful foundation. I was having a little bit of trouble with my foundation. I was having trouble with wrinkles and fine lines, let's be honest. And I was starting to get into the whole YouTube thing and like watching reviews, things like that. And this was one of the ones that, if I'm not mistaken, it probably was Risa Does Makeup, because I know she loves this foundation. She had done a review, I believe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that it was her. And at the time, I just really like thought, okay, that looks great. It works on her maturing skin, which she looks great, but she's a few years older than me. And I was having issues with like signs of aging showing. And so I tried this foundation and it was just perfection. I absolutely loved it. I remember it was a Sunday. I remember that we went to church. I think I even remember what I wore that day. And I remember, like, I had had so many issues with different foundations that I was testing that day my husband was even like, oh, hey babe, your makeup looks nice today. And I was like, yes, it's this foundation. Now it is a little bit costlier, but you know, it's one of those things where if it works, it works. And at the time I was desperate because I couldn't figure out why my foundation was looking so nasty. So yeah, this is my instant holy grail foundation. I'm just building it up a little tiny bit in this area with my sponge. I just love that it's so skin-like. It lasts all day on me. It just never looks cakey. I have an issue with like my foundations looking cakey around my nose and sometimes this area. Sorry, I forgot to mute my laptop. It just looks so beautiful. You can't build it up like to a full coverage. I think it's more medium coverage, but I tend to stick to lighter coverage foundations. So this is perfect for me, but I absolutely love it. Another instant holy grail is actually one that came as a surprise, actually. It's the Lancome Tenti Doll Ultra Wear All Over Concealer. I'm in the shade Bisque Cool. It's an all-over concealer. I actually thought that I was buying another Lancome product, and she gave me the wrong box. You know when sometimes at Sephora they run out of the product, they look at in the drawers below, and this is what she took out, and I didn't even bother to like look. And when we got home, I was like, well, I kind of always am on the hunt for the next best complexion product, whether that be foundation or concealer. So I tried it, and instantly I was just so in love with this concealer. I was like, oh my goodness, like I didn't know. Sometimes, depending on your skincare, you know, you go through times where like your skin's not looking the best, and it was one of those times. And so when I tried this concealer, I was like, oh my God, it looks so good. So I instantly loved it. It's long wearing. It doesn't make your skin look dry in any way. It is, I wouldn't say it's a full coverage concealer, but it's definitely got really great coverage. And yeah, it's really good. It's never done me wrong. Sometimes I'll go through phases with my other concealers, and then when I come back to this one, I'm always like, oh my gosh, I absolutely love it. It's so perfect. Now, you guys are watching me use my sponge in the other areas for the concealer. I always like to let the concealer set for a little bit under my eyes to get a little more coverage. And then I go in and, you know, do my Lisa J method. If you don't know, my Lisa J method is to take a concealer brush and just spray it with a little bit of setting spray. And then I go in and just kind of pat it in. This is actually the BK Beauty, which is owned by Lisa J, and the Angie Hot and Flashy concealer brush. Which I'm so excited because you guys are watching this video like just a couple days before I get to go hang out with BK Beauty. So it should be a lot of fun. Look at that. Perfect coverage. I just love it. I absolutely love it. Okay, that looks so good. Do you see what I mean? Like I'm trying to get close. You guys can see it's so skin-like, like the foundation and then the under eyes, everything looks perfect. So, I mean, perfect for me. I don't have the best and perfect skin. I you know, have the dryness. I have some fine lines. Not a lot of wrinkles right now, but yeah, not perfect. Anyway, so my instant holy grail when it comes to powder is going to be the Givenchy loose, the Prisme Libre loose powder. This is in the shade 4 Mussolini, and it is just incredible, you guys. When I tried this, and I had resisted it for so long, and I don't know if you guys watch Steffi Glam. She's a good friend, and so I text her. I'm like, girl, it was like, I think a Sephora sale, and I was like, do I need this powder? Do I really need this powder? She's like, you need this powder. Stop messing around and just get the powder. And when I saw it and I put it on my face, I was like, oh my gosh, amazing for a couple of reasons. So this is the powder puff, and what it is you get 4 different shades here. Some are to color correct, some are to help with redness. So it just, you will tap it out on the top, and then you just kind of buff it in or press it in. That's how I use it. Now, another reason why this powder is just so incredible is because I can use it under my eyes. So, I mean, I'm newer to makeup in general. Like, it's only been a few years that I've been experimenting with different products and formulas and stuff. And so over the years, what I've noticed is that although, especially here in Texas, I have oily skin, my under eyes are actually pretty dry and they're very finicky. Like I can't use just any powder under my eyes because it can make them look really crepey, really weird, make me look older than I am. But this is instantly so smoothing everywhere, including my under eyes. Your makeup will look flawless all day long. Now, with my oily skin, I still have to blot, especially the T-zone, but it just is incredible. And again, it's one of those things where I try to rotate products in my collection, but when I use this again, like it makes you look like a freaking porcelain doll, you guys. It's just instant holy grail for a reason. I haven't tried their pressed version of this powder. If anybody has, let me know down below if I need to invest in that for on the go. I mean, I have other powders that I like, but yeah, so good. And the fact that I don't have to use another under eye setting powder. When I'm using other loose powders to set my face, I will usually use the Pat McGrath under eye setting powder. Like that's a favorite. But with this powder, I don't have to do that because it works everywhere. Beautiful. The next product in my collection that was an instant holy grail is this one. This one's by NARS. This is the NARS bronzing cream. I have it in the original Laguna 02. I believe they have it up to shade 04, and it was just an instant holy grail. I was going in because I was looking at this one, and I can't remember what other cream bronzer. There had been a lot released at the time, but I swatched this one and it was just the perfect shade. It wasn't too warm. It wasn't too cool. And I can't remember what other one I was looking at, but I guess it doesn't matter because this one is incredible. It just blends so easily. As you can see there, like instant payoff, but with the brush, it just blends so easily. You may notice, or you might say, oh, Yadi, but you're putting it over powder. And with this bronzer cream, it just doesn't matter. It works over powder, under powder. During the winter, I think what I'll do is I'll just do it under powder. I powder very lightly during the winter. Obviously, I'm a little more dry then. I shouldn't say obviously, some people aren't, but I am. I'm a little more dry then. I try to just pat it in, pat it in, pat it in, and it just works so nicely. I used to be the one that would swipe the bronzers and stuff, and I've learned over time, like it's better if we just pat it in. Because it's not too warm or anything, I can use it in the chin area to kind of contour and chisel that out a little bit. Now, I did not put the bronzer on my nose, even though I do like to bronze up my nose, but I have oily skin, so I'm not gonna like play myself like that. So I wanted to show you my instant holy grail bronzer in a powder formula, and that's gonna be my Gucci. I mean, duh, you guys, duh. We already know. Now, that's the color there. I have the shade 03. It is just perfect. It's a little more warm than the Laguna bronzer that I just put in, but it's just the perfect shade. It doesn't look too red when you put it on the skin, and the formula is just beautiful. And I don't know if I can kind of show you, but there's a significant dip here. Like here, I can feel it. So, I mean, you guys know with so much stuff that I have in my collection, to have a dip like this in my Gucci bronzer, I truly love it. The reason why I wanted to show you cream and powder is because I have oily skin. So I always will set, if I use like a cream blush or a cream bronzer, I always set it with its counterpart in powder, just so that it lasts all day and that my oils don't break it apart. So yeah, look at how beautiful that is. It's just so nice. This one does have a fragrance, so I wanted to mention that, but it's not overbearing. It used to be stronger when I had just purchased it, but now I can hardly smell it. And then I like to do like a little circle and then go up and down my nose. Look how pretty. Sometimes I'll take like a brush like this. This is the Refer number 16, 15. And if I want it more defined, I'll go in the circle and then I'll just go down my nose. Take a little more and just try to plump the lips a little bit. Divine, darling. Now I'll say, like, it looks like it's kind of like skipping there. It's not. That's my skin. I have like dips and ridges and stuff on my cheeks. So that's just my skin. But in general, the color is perfect. Love it. My next instant holy grail for highlighter, I have the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude Glow highlighter. It pains me to share this one because I don't believe, it was a limited edition and I don't believe it's still available. It might be through her website, but it is just such an instant glow. You see that? And what I like about it is it's so subtle, and you can build it up a little bit, but even if I just kind of went ham, it's not going to be, you can't overdo it. It just looks so pretty. So like, it makes your skin look a little glass-like. It's just a really great highlighter. I do love highlighters in like some of her quads, like the quad palettes too, but this was an instant holy grail. I love it. Okay, for blush, my instant holy grail was one from M Cosmetics. It isn't like high-end or luxury, but I guess it's high-end. These go for like 30 bucks maybe. So yeah, it's definitely not the cheapest, but I used it. This was actually a gift from one of my subscribers turned very, very good friends here. And she sent me a box of makeup that she had tried like once or twice that didn't really vibe with her. And this was in there. And ever since then, it's been such a favorite for me. There's a couple holy grails in that box that she sent me, which is funny. But that's the shade there. It's in Heaven's Glow Magic Hour. I believe that this is one of the baked ones. And it's funny because as I was prepping for the video, I got, you know how they send those promotional texts? They just added 2 more serum blushes. I have one of those. She sent me those 2, and it's pretty. I just, for some reason, don't gravitate towards it. Now, what I like about this, look, it gives just a very neutral pinky hue, but also like a subtle glow. I don't know. Most of the time, like I won't even wear a highlighter if I use this. But yeah, it's just so pretty. It's like a very neutral pink. And although it looks like it wouldn't show on my skin, it actually does just give it the perfect hue. Okay, for the next one, I'm kind of just going more with the look. I'm going to be doing lips next. I thought about doing something nude because of the bold color, but I don't want to. I want to do something bold. So my instant holy grail lip formula, instantly, was this one by Lisa Eldridge. These are the Velvet Matte Lipsticks. I do like the other formulas, but this is just, like I said, the formula was an instant holy grail. Velvet Affair is probably my favorite nude, but when it comes to bold colors, it's Velvet Cinnabar. And I've got the corresponding lip liner and lipstick, and we're just gonna go for it. I think it'll go with this whole autumn vibe we've got going on, and yeah. It'll be bold, but whatever. It's exactly as it says in the name. It's a velvet matte. Okay, so I'm going to do my mascara off camera. It's just boring. It takes me forever because I really work through my lashes, but I just wanted to share. My instant holy grail was the Pat McGrath Labs Dark Star Mascara. It just works like no other, you guys. And I've tried, like I was just watching, I think Marlena Stell's TikTok. She's like, don't spend your money on mascara. But for me, like I've tried a lot of drugstore mascaras and high-end, and this is just beautiful. I absolutely love it. It makes my lashes look so voluminous, so long. Let me go put it on to show you. Also, did you guys see in the new holiday collection, she's releasing 3 colorful shades of mascara. So like, I don't think I'll get all 3, but for sure 2 of them, because the formula, it's just like a no-brainer. And they have really cool colors that I love. So let me do that and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, and then the final step, first of all, check out these lashes. Why it's a big deal, you guys, is because I don't have like a lot of voluminous lashes. I do use a lash serum, so I will give it that. But at the same time, like, these lashes look good. I really, really like it. Now, I do have to say that I use a lash primer with this mascara, but even when I had not discovered this one still was my favorite Holy Grail mascara because it just made them look so voluminous. Like it gave the right amount of volume without being clumpy or nasty. So yes. Okay, and the last part is my instant holy grail setting spray. And that's of course going to be my Charlotte Tilbury. This is a mini. They ran out of the big one for a while. Sephora didn't have the large one, so I just bought 2 of these. But this is my favorite setting spray. It makes your foundation or makeup in general last all day long. It gives you, it doesn't do like any mattifying or anything like that, but it is just really, really good, and it just sets everything in. Your makeup's not going to smear off on your blouse if you're changing quickly or whatever. So yeah, love this one. It also has the perfect spray or spritz. Like, that's a big deal with setting sprays. It's not going to drop like a bunch of big drops on your face and then ruin your makeup. It's just perfect. It does have a slight scent, but not anything that lasts. And it says it'll prime and set your face for up to 16 hours. I don't use it as a primer. I just put it on after I'm done with my makeup, but there we go. So there you go, you guys. That is a full face of my instant holy grail makeup products. I didn't include an eyeshadow palette. I thought that would be disingenuous of me because I use a different eyeshadow palette almost every day. But if you'd like to see my thoughts and some looks using the new Nomad Cosmetics Hudson Valley palette, go check that out. This was one of the looks that I created for that video. I'll link it down below and up above. And I'll link everything that I used today. If you use those links, some of them are affiliate links, so I make a small commission if you use them. But I highly recommend those products, and I thank you if you do. All right, guys, go follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!